Women Food and Agriculture Network has operated a program that is to support aspiring and beginning women farmers for about 8 years now, and it's called Harvesting Our Potential. And we are operating it this year under the auspices of a grant from the USDA, a Beginning Farmer and Rancher Development Program grant. So for 3 years, we're going to be working with aspiring and beginning women farmers in Iowa and Nebraska, and they're going to be able to take advantage of a variety of options that are really hopefully going to be very helpful for them. One of those is kind of the linchpin of our program, and that is on-farm mentorship opportunities. Aspiring women farmers, that means those who want to learn to farm but who aren't farming yet, will have the chance to spend 8 to 10 weeks on women-owned farms in Iowa and Nebraska during the summers and early fall. So they'll be able to do everything that the farmers do. They'll have an actual written curriculum that they'll follow, and they will be learning everything that the farmer does, from starting sets in the early spring to transplanting to harvesting, packing and washing, marketing and selling and delivering. If they work on a farm with livestock, they'll learn all about livestock care and how to basically prepare and market the products that they make there, either the meat or the eggs, dairy sometimes.
I am Jan Libby. I am co-owner of One Step at a Time Gardens in north central Iowa with my husband Tim Landgraf. So each year, part of our crew at One Step at a Time Gardens consists of young people who have come to live and work on the farm. We look at this as an opportunity for them to get the combination of practical hands-on experience with some head thinking components to it. So we've been trying to blend those. And when we started to have some conversation with Women Food and Agriculture about how some additional tools will help us expand and give more structure to the program that we have, we thought that would be a great opportunity.
We also have an off-farm mentorship program, which is available for those women who are already farming but would like some expert advice and some support from farmers who have been farming longer than they have. So we'll make those arrangements so that they'll be able to interact with each other either by phone or email every week for the entire series of a growing season, most of a year, and then also visit one another's farms at least once during that time.
We know that we're only one little slice of the picture, but we have a lot of networks with other farmers. So we invite them to, where it fits appropriately with their goals, to connect with some other farms, doing some farm visits or going to some field days and trying to put together a whole experience.
And then we also provide some business planning training for these two groups, a half-day Farm Dreams program for the aspiring women farmers in each state, and then a much more intensive, longer, up to a year program for the beginning women farmers in each state. And then sort of our hallmark is the networking piece, and we're going to be providing opportunities for the mentors and the mentees to interact with one another. There's a summer potluck coming up in the summers. They'll be invited to our conferences, and then we'll also help them keep in touch online as well. And in each of these programs, the mentor farmer receives some compensation from us, from the grant. And in the case of the on-farm mentees, they also receive a small $50 a week stipend to help offset their gas and groceries for that time. One of the biggest pieces that this grant allows us to do, which we haven't been able to do in the past, is to train the on-farm mentor farmers on how to be a good mentor. So even if you're a wonderful farmer, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're an experienced teacher or that you know how to do evaluation of learning. So in the spring of each year, late winter, early spring, we're offering a training program that is a pretty intensive day and a half program being led by Jan Libby in Iowa, where the mentor farmers of each year will come together and go through a training where they'll learn about one-on-one teaching, how to create a learning plan, how to translate the work that they do on the farm into a curriculum that can be written down and looked at and broken out into pieces week by week. They'll learn how to do evaluation so that they can talk with the mentee about whether they're learning or not, and if not, if things aren't working out quite the way they should, how do they deal with conflict or communications problems that might arise. It also deals with liability issues that the farmer might be facing, which she may or may not know about. So, for example, labor law that she needs to comply with, and liability insurance that she needs to maintain, workers' compensation insurance, and that varies somewhat by state.
Until we got involved with Women, Food and Eggs, Harvesting Our Potential, we had never really written down specific frameworks. So the program here is providing a number of different tools, and I've provided a diagram that gives a picture of how this all fits together, and it's sort of concentric circles. And in the center, through the program, is the on-farm teaching plan that the curriculum that we've developed and the training that we're providing to the Iowa and Nebraska participating farmers gives them the tools for drawing from their own experience and farm activities the components of a teaching plan. That is like the core of the program, but it's surrounded at the next level, we might say, by other considerations that we need to be thinking about when we are hiring this mentee or bringing this mentee into the farm crew. There are some legal considerations. There are just the logistics of being clear with mentees in terms of mentee agreements. It's very easy for us to assume that new people will know what we're thinking or know how we're thinking about things, but we need to sort of unpack that, and that's what part of this process is inviting us to do. Surrounded by that is sort of a next layer, and that is the support of the other farmer mentors themselves. By participating in the training particularly, they come together and they wrestle through a number of these issues, and they share their own plans. Also, the staff and some of the advisory teams that Women, Food and Ag Network has put together are there as sounding boards. And Women, Food and Ag has some expectations of how we carry out these programs, because it's not just to benefit the farm, it's also laying a model for growing new farmers. And we're hoping out of this that young women are getting enough experience and enough confidence that they're ready to take some next steps. Whether that's being clear about the next internship they need, or whether they're really ready to take a launching step into beginning some of their own ventures. So it's sort of a layered package of support, the whole piece. And we're going to walk through a number of those sort of components in these short video pieces. And we also have the full curriculum, the Farmer Mentor Handbook, that will be available for you to take a look at.